Have you ever felt a presence, someone familiar, trying to reach out to you from beyond? Or maybe you've wondered, are these messages from mediums real or just illusions crafted by wishful thinking? If you've ever found yourself longing for a sign, a message, or even a glimpse of closure after losing someone, this video is for you. Today, we'll dive into real stories from people who've received profound messages through mediums, messages that healed, encouraged, and transformed their lives in ways they never expected. Whether you're someone curious about the unknown or seeking comfort after a loss, what you're about to discover might change how you see the spiritual world. So stay with us. The journey ahead will reveal that love never truly disappears. It only changes form. And sometimes a message from beyond is all we need to find peace and hope again. Before we dive into the stories, let's first explore what mediumship really is. At its core, mediumship refers to the ability to communicate with spirits, those who have passed beyond the physical realm. This practice exists in many cultures, taking different forms throughout history. From ancient shamans acting as bridges to the spirit world, to modern-day mediums in spiritualist movements, the idea of connecting with loved ones on the other side has always captivated humanity. Different cultures embrace this practice in unique ways. In Brazil, for instance, Spiritism focuses on mediums as healers, sharing messages of guidance. Meanwhile, Native American traditions regard shamans as conduits, not just to the spirits of the deceased, but to nature itself. These varied interpretations highlight that across civilizations, the search for meaning beyond death is universal. But what does it feel like for a medium to receive a message? Often, it's not about hearing clear words, but sensing emotions, symbols, or mental images. Many describe it as tuning into a frequency just beyond the range of ordinary perception, where the physical and spiritual worlds overlap. Mediums can serve as translators of these subtle messages, bringing them into words and actions that resonate with those seeking connection and healing. Yet even with these fascinating insights, mediumship remains a subject of debate. Some approach it with reverence, seeing it as a gift that can offer closure and peace. Others remain skeptical, viewing it as unproven or even as a comforting illusion. In this video, we aim to bridge the gap between belief and doubt by sharing authentic stories, real experiences that show how messages from beyond can profoundly change the course of a person's life. So now that we've set the stage, let's move forward and explore the challenges that come with trusting these messages. Despite the fascination with life after death, skepticism about mediumship runs deep. Many people wonder, how can we be sure these messages are real? It's a fair question. After all, we live in a world that values logic, science, and evidence. The idea of communicating with those who have passed feels elusive, difficult to measure, and even harder to believe. Some dismiss it as wishful thinking, others fear it's a trap laid by charlatans looking to exploit grief. There's also the influence of mainstream media and popular culture, which often paint mediums in extremes, either as mystical figures with supernatural abilities or as frauds preying on the vulnerable. In reality, though, mediumship exists on a spectrum. And like any practice, it has both genuine practitioners and imposters. A few bad experiences can cast a shadow of doubt over those seeking real guidance, making it hard to distinguish the sincere from the deceptive. Even science has struggled to explain mediumship. Psychologists suggest that the messages might be subconscious desires surfacing in times of emotional need. Meanwhile, skeptics argue that cold reading, an artful technique where vague statements are made to sound personal, explains how some fraudulent mediums operate. These criticisms, though valid in some cases, leave little room for the profound and deeply personal experiences many people have had. But skepticism isn't inherently negative. In fact, healthy skepticism encourages us to think critically and seek truth, which is exactly what this video aims to do. Find the heart of these experiences and understand what makes some messages life-changing. Not every message may resonate, and not every medium will be genuine, yet for many, the messages that do land authentically have the power to shift everything, offering healing, closure, and hope. Now it's time to hear from those who've lived these experiences firsthand. Let's dive into stories of people who found exactly what they needed when they least expected it. A message from beyond that transformed their lives. Let's now explore the heart of this journey. Real stories of people whose lives were forever changed by messages from beyond. These experiences are not just accounts of curiosity, but of profound healing and transformation. First story, a mother's healing after loss. Our first story takes us to Emily, a mother who lost her teenage son, Jason, in a tragic car accident. Struggling with grief, Emily felt trapped in an emotional void, unable to move forward. One day, at the urging of a friend, she reluctantly visited a medium. Skeptical but desperate for relief, she attended the session expecting nothing. What happened next was unexpected. The medium, someone Emily had never met, described Jason in vivid detail. His favorite songs, the bracelet he always wore, and even a private nickname only he and Emily shared. But the turning point came when the medium conveyed a message. "I'm okay, Mom. I want you to be happy again." Emily left that session with something she hadn't felt in months: peace. It wasn't just the message itself, but the clarity and comfort it brought, helping her realize that her son was still with her in spirit. Over time, Emily found the strength to heal, not by forgetting Jason, but by carrying his memory with love instead of sorrow. Second story, a message of forgiveness and reconciliation. Next, we meet Robert, a man estranged from his brother Ethan for years before Ethan's sudden passing. Haunted by guilt, Robert struggled with the unresolved anger between them. When a mutual friend suggested visiting a medium, Robert hesitated but decided to give it a chance. During the session, the medium shared details only Ethan could have known. Their childhood pranks, the family pet they had lost, and the nickname Ethan used to tease Robert. But it was the message that broke Robert's emotional wall. "I forgive you, little brother. Let it go." Those words lifted a weight off Robert's heart, allowing him to forgive himself and find inner peace. What had seemed impossible, closure, was now within reach, not through confrontation, but through acceptance and grace. Third story, a life-saving premonition. The final story takes us to Sophia, a woman who had been struggling with a sense of stagnation in life. One day, she attended a public reading by a well-known medium. Out of nowhere, the medium pointed at her and said, "I don't know who this is for, but someone here needs to change their travel plans immediately." Sophia was planning to travel the next day, but the message unsettled her. She cancelled her trip, despite her doubts. The following day, she learned that the plane she was scheduled to board had experienced a severe engine failure mid-flight. Everyone survived, but the harrowing incident left no room for doubt in Sophia's mind. The message had saved her life. The experience gave Sophia a new perspective, not only on life, but also on the subtle ways the spiritual world may intervene. She began to listen more closely to her intuition, trusting that the unseen forces around her were guiding her path. And to these stories show that mediumship is more than just a spiritual curiosity. It's a source of healing, closure, and even life-changing insight. Whether it's a message of comfort after loss, forgiveness that mends broken relationships, or a warning that alters the course of events, these encounters prove that there is more to our existence than meets the eye. The journey through these experiences isn't just about hearing from the dead, it's about the transformation that follows. It's about finding peace where there was once sorrow, strength where there was guilt, and clarity where there was confusion. And for many, it's about discovering that love transcends all boundaries, including the boundary between life and death. Now that we've seen how powerful these messages can be, it's time to understand how to distinguish genuine connections from potential deceptions. Let's explore some practical ways to identify authentic messages and avoid falling into traps. While these inspiring stories show the potential power of mediumship, it's essential to approach the practice with discernment. Not every medium is genuine, and not every message will be meaningful. So how can you tell when a message is authentic? And more importantly, how do you avoid being misled by someone who may not have your best interests at heart? Trust your intuition. The first and most crucial step is to trust your intuition. Often, a genuine message resonates on a deeper emotional level. It feels right. It's not just about the words spoken, but the sense of peace or recognition they evoke. If a message feels forced, vague, or doesn't align with your experience, it's okay to question it. True messages from beyond tend to bring clarity, not confusion. Look for specific details. Authentic mediums often share information they couldn't have known, specific names, memories, or personal items that have deep meaning to you. These details go beyond general statements that could apply to anyone. If a medium gives you something precise, something only you and your loved one would understand, it's a good sign you're receiving a genuine message. Beware of cold reading techniques. Some people use cold reading, a technique where the medium makes general statements that seem personal. For example, saying, "I sense someone with the letter J," or "there was an illness involved." While this can seem convincing, it's often designed to extract information from you. A genuine reading should feel more like the medium is giving you information, not pulling it from your responses. Emotional manipulation is a red flag. If a medium pressures you to return for more sessions, claims you have a curse that needs expensive rituals, or uses fear to manipulate your emotions, these are clear signs of fraud. Mediumship is meant to heal and empower, not exploit grief or vulnerability. Approaching mediumship with an open mind, but also with healthy skepticism, allows you to filter out inauthentic experiences and focus on those that are meaningful. Remember, the goal is not to receive a perfect answer, but to experience moments of clarity and connection that help you move forward. Now that we've explored how to recognize genuine messages, let's look deeper into the emotional and spiritual benefits these experiences can provide. And messages from beyond are more than just fleeting connections. They offer powerful emotional and spiritual benefits that can profoundly impact the lives of those who receive them. Let's explore how these moments of communication can bring healing, hope, and a sense of purpose. Healing emotional wounds. For many, unresolved grief can feel like an anchor, keeping them stuck in sorrow. A message from a loved one, no matter how brief, can help release this weight. Knowing that those who have passed are at peace often brings closure and helps people let go of guilt, regret, or sadness that may have lingered for years. It's as if a heavy burden is lifted, allowing them to breathe freely once more. Encouragement in difficult times. Sometimes these messages arrive when someone needs them the most, during moments of uncertainty, doubt, or despair. Receiving a message of encouragement or reassurance from a spirit can renew hope and provide the strength to move forward. For those facing major life challenges such as illness or loss, these experiences can serve as a lifeline, reminding them that they are not alone. Guidance and direction. In some cases, messages from beyond provide more than comfort. They offer practical guidance. These messages might inspire someone to make a life-changing decision, pursue a new path, or avoid potential dangers. Whether subtle or direct, the insight they provide can lead to transformative actions. It's not uncommon for people to reflect on these messages and realize they were exactly what they needed to hear at that moment. strengthening faith and spirituality. Experiences with mediumship often deepen people's sense of spirituality, expanding their understanding of life and death. They become more attuned to signs and messages from the universe, embracing a broader view of existence that extends beyond the physical world. This shift can foster personal growth, encouraging people to live more authentically and with greater purpose. These benefits reveal that the purpose of these messages isn't just to satisfy curiosity, it's to heal, uplift, and guide. Whether by finding closure, receiving encouragement, or discovering new insights, these experiences remind us that love, connection, and wisdom transcend all boundaries, even death itself. Now, as we approach the end of this journey, let's reflect on the power of faith, hope, and the enduring nature of love. As we near the end of this journey, one truth stands out. Love, hope, and faith are forces that transcend even the boundaries of life and death. The stories we've shared reveal that the connections we forge with others don't simply vanish, they transform, continuing to shape our lives in ways we might not fully understand. In a world that often feels uncertain, these messages from beyond remind us that we are never truly alone. Even when a loved one passes, their essence remains, guiding us, comforting us, and sometimes nudging us toward healing and growth. Moments of connection through mediumship offer more than just closure. They reignite hope, showing us that life is a continuum, not an ending. For many, these experiences also restore faith, not just in the spiritual realm, but in the journey of life itself. Faith that no matter how difficult things may seem, we are supported by unseen forces. Faith that the love we give and receive leaves a lasting imprint, shaping the future in ways we might never see. And most importantly, faith in the transformative power of hope, which carries us through even the darkest moments. It's not about having all the answers, but about embracing the mystery and trusting that some of the most meaningful moments in life and beyond happen when we least expect them. As we reflect on everything we've explored today, let's carry this understanding forward. The bonds we cherish are never broken. They change form, appearing when we most need them. And sometimes all it takes is a single message to remind us that love never fades. It only grows stronger across time, space, and dimensions. Now that we've explored these remarkable stories and the powerful impact of messages from beyond, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced something similar, a message, a sign, or a connection with someone who has passed? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could bring comfort or inspiration to someone else on their journey. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We dive deep into topics like this, exploring the mysteries of life, death, and everything in between. And if you don't want to miss out on future content, make sure to click the bell icon to stay notified. Remember, these stories show us that healing, hope, and love are always within reach. Thank you for being with us today. Stay open, stay hopeful, and keep listening for the messages the universe might be sending your way. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the transformative power of mediumship. We hope these stories have brought you a sense of peace, encouragement, or perhaps even new perspectives. Every connection we make, whether here in this life or beyond, teaches us something valuable about love, resilience, and the strength of the human spirit. We appreciate your time and presence today. If you found value in this video, please share it with others who might need a little hope or comfort in their lives. Together, we can create a community where these experiences are shared, respected, and celebrated. Until next time, remember, the bonds we build are never truly broken. Love continues guiding us forward. Stay connected, stay curious, and above all, stay hopeful.